Hey guys, so for today's video, I'm going to be doing another critiquing your makeup looks video. Did that make sense? I don't think so. So I did this video on my channel. Apparently it was last June and it feels like it was so much longer ago than that because this was right before like a big change in my life. Anyways, so I did this video where you guys sent in your makeup looks and I gave you guys a little bit of critiques and advice on how I would kind of improve some of these looks. And that video got such good feedback from you guys, so I figured it was time to do another one. So I posted a little Google form on my Instagram and my YouTube community tab where you guys could submit some eyeshadow looks that you did that you wanted some tips and advice on. So I am here to kind of look at these looks, give you guys some advice. This is going to be a positive space. I'm just giving some constructive criticism. I'm not going to be bashing anyone, don't worry. And I feel like this is really fun and helpful because you guys see me do my makeup and my eyes all the time, but this way I can show you looks on other people. And maybe you have a similar eye shape or a similar issue as to someone I'm going to show today, and that'll help you out a bit. I do want to preface this by saying that I am not a professional makeup artist, but I have been on YouTube for 5 years now. What I do here on YouTube is pretty much just eyeshadow tutorials. So I feel like I have a lot of experience with eyeshadow and just blending and colors and things like that. But I'm not a professional, so take that as you will. And before we jump into this, I just want to say thank you to everyone that submitted some photos. I know it's kind of scary to like send in photos and put yourself out there, so thank you to anyone who'd submitted. And I wanted to pop some looks up on the screen right here of some looks that I received that I was like, oh my gosh, these are freaking amazing. I wouldn't change a thing. And I just love seeing all your faces, and it was really cool because some people were like, this was a tutorial that I followed from you and here's the look, and I was like, oh my god, thank you. So this is gonna be fun. We got lots of tips and tricks in here. I believe I have 7 different looks to go over today, so let's get started. Also, side note, I know I will get questions on this. On my eyes today, I'm wearing the ColourPop Your Golden palette. I just wanted to do something really like warm, fall, and smoky looking, and I'm so happy with how this look turned out. Now let's get into this. All right, so we're gonna start with Sarah here. And Sarah said, I'm not afraid to play with color, but I feel like a lot of my looks end up looking the same. I gravitate towards mattes because of my age and skin, but will put a hint of sparkle on. What are some ways I can change up my looks? I tend to just do what looks best for my hooded eyes. So I'm just gonna zoom in on Sarah's looks here. She sent me a couple pictures, but I'm just gonna look at these two here. So I can see she just did like a very soft matte look. Looks like there might be a little bit of sparkle right here in the center of her eye. I do really like these kind of pinky brown tones on her. I think they look good with her skin, with her eye color. And it looks like in this look, she's wearing a bit of eyeliner, where in this look, it looks like it's just mascara. So for changing up your looks, I like to play with kind of different placement of eyeshadow. So it looks like in this look, she just kind of dusted this pinky shade mostly in her crease and like a little bit on her lid. But other styles to do would be kind of like what I'm wearing today, where you have like a deeper outer corner and a lighter inner corner. This kind of style is personally my favorite on myself. I feel like it just kind of flatters my face and eye shape the best. You can also do like a halo eye where your outer corner and your inner corner are deeper and you have that kind of lighter shimmer shade right in the center of your lid. You can do like an all over smoky eye where it's kind of more like monochromatic, so maybe I'd place like this dark brown shade all over my lid instead of just on the outer corner. And then you can also switch up your looks with eyeliner. So in Sarah's case, she did one look with a little basic line of liner. I love that. You can do like a smoky smudge liner, kind of like what I have on today. You can do a winged liner. You can do just a little bit of wing on the outer corner. Or you can do the liner where you like line the inner part of your eye right there. I don't do that personally because my eyes water way too much. But with playing around with the different placements, like you can still use the same eyeshadow colors. So Sarah could keep using these kind of pinky browns, but just try a halo eye instead, or try placing that shade all over your lid instead and just kind of play around with it. And in my videos, I do try my best to do different techniques, or else all my videos would kind of be looking the same, you know? So like I said, this technique is my favorite on myself, but I will always do a halo eye, a winged liner, just switching things up. All right, so next we have Nicolette, and I think she sent me like 5 different looks, but I wanted to focus on this one. So she says she's been trying new looks from TikTok, so I love that, just playing around with different looks and different colors. And she wants tips on how to blend on the lid. So I wanted to look at this look because I love the pop of pink with the browns. I like how it matches her sweater. I don't know if that was planned or not, but I think it's cute. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in pretty close here. So for this look, I probably would have used a shimmer pink instead of a matte pink. I feel like a shimmer would have looked a little bit softer, and packing a matte all over your lid is a little tricky sometimes, especially when you're using different colors. So in this case, she uses that pink with that brown. Or I even would have added maybe just like an eyeshadow topper on top of the lip pink, again, just to soften up the look a little bit. But another little tip I wanted to talk about here was the eyeliner. So you can see she's wearing fake eyelashes and she has a line of liner, but there's some couple gaps and little bumps in the liner, which is totally normal. But I have a super easy fix for this that can make such a big difference. So once you're like 100% done with your look, like you're at this step, your lashes are on, you did your line of liner, you want to take a black eyeshadow. I actually did this today for my look. So personally, I always keep a palette with the black handy on my table. I like to use the Makeup by Mario little palette. And you take an angle brush, this is the Sigma E65, dip it in that black eyeshadow. And then you could do this two ways. You could just kind of nicely line right on top your lash line, just stamp that black eyeshadow over the lash band and over your line of liner. But I also like to pull my eye a little taut right there and then do that line. I know you're not really like supposed to pull your eyes, but it's like, I'm not doing it for very long. I'm not doing it every single day, so I don't know. But that black eyeshadow will fill in any little gaps right here, and black eyeshadow just looks kind of softer, so it's gonna kind of soften this line as well. The black will also cover up any makeup on your lash band maybe, so this step just like cures a lot of problems in my opinion. So I personally do that black liner step pretty much every time I'm wearing like a full face of eyeshadow with lashes. All right, so next we have a cut crease. I don't actually know her name, but we're gonna keep going. And she said she wants the look to be more blended at the top here. She sent like 3 or 4 photos of this look, and so that was actually really helpful. I'm gonna start with this picture here. This is before lashes, so it's just kind of easier to see all the eyeshadow. So she said she did this cut crease without concealer, and that's perfectly fine. You don't always have to use concealer to do a cut crease. You could totally do it with just eyeshadow. But this cut crease looks a little bit too harsh and kind of like there was just a line drawn. It doesn't really look like there was a cut made at the crease, you know what I mean? So for her look, I would actually bring this cut crease line down a bit. So you can see she has some natural folds in her eyes right here. So I would actually make the cut crease kind of right around here. I know it's gonna look bad with this Photoshop, but this is a way to give you guys a visual. Can I like erase this line she did? Okay, ignore my terrible Photoshop skills, but this is just to give you guys an idea. So I would bring the cut crease line down right there. So I erased what she did, but see how that placement just looks a bit more natural? I think before it was just a little too close to her eyebrows, so I brought it down to right around here. And then since you brought the cut crease down lower, now you have room to blend out that line. Because with her cut crease placed so high to her brow, there was really no room to blend above it. And you do want to soften that line just a little bit with some kind of like light soft brown. I also do really like how high she placed that shimmer right here. That's a great technique if you want it to look like you have more lid space, your eyes are more open and awake. So again, all I would do for her is just bring that line down just a tad, so now you have room to blend over it. I do also have a full video on my channel where I did a cut crease without concealer, and I actually used the Makeup by Mario palette. So I'll link that video down below if you want any tips on that. All right, let's keep going. So next we have Stacy, and Stacy sent in like 4 or 5 looks, and all of them were so beautiful. So she said she struggles with her eye shape. Do I have hooded eyes? Do I need to bring the eyeshadow up higher? So I'm gonna show you these 2 pictures from her that I really liked. So I feel like Stacy and I actually have a really similar eye shape. We don't really have like super hooded eyes, but we do have this bit of skin that kind of folds over the lid, but you still can see most of the lid. So I would say that she has slightly hooded eyes, and I say that for myself, and people will fight me over that, but it's the truth. The thing with my eyes is that when I talk and when I take pictures, I naturally just lift up my eyebrows and I kind of like pull my ears back. If I'm like totally relaxed, I just look grumpy, and I have a lot of this skin that folds over right here. Like, you see how much skin I can lift up? It's crazy. So I wanted to talk about this look she did really quick, because she did a cut crease, but she placed the cut crease perfectly for her eye shape. So you can see it right here. She placed the cut crease above the natural fold in her eye, which opens up the eye just a little bit. If she did stop the cut crease, like where her eye naturally folds, it just kind of closes off the eye and you wouldn't really see your pretty eyeshadow. I also love the kind of thicker wing she did on the outer part of her eye. It's thicker right here, then gets a little thinner as it tapers in. But when I saw this second look, I was like, oh my gosh, hot damn, I love these eyes. This kind of goes back to like the first question where I was talking about other ways to kind of switch up your look. So in this case, Stacy did this sexy liner cat eye. So you can see she wings it out right here. It looks like she might have done a little point in the inner corner. I can't really tell if that's just her natural eye or not, but either way, it looks really good. But one tip I would give her for this look is to take this shade she put in her crease. It looks kind of like a orangey brown, and I would still place that shade right here. If I just added that shade right here in her crease, it just kind of completes the look a bit. So people like her and me that have these kind of slightly hooded eyes or all the way hooded eyes, you do want to put a light medium matte shade above that natural fold right here. And that's kind of how I typically start most of my makeup looks, with a transition shade, is I do place that shade pretty high up, kind of close to my brow. And that'll just kind of help any hooded eyes look less closed off. All right, so next we have Val, and she said that she has issues making her eyeshadow an even shape on both eyes. So I totally have this issue too. I'm much better at doing makeup on my left eye, which is the eye I film like all my one-eyed videos on. For me, I just prefer the left side of my face and just the shape of this eye a little bit more, so I have mastered how to do my eyeshadow on this eye. So I totally understand the problem, and I have a couple tips and tricks to kind of help you get an even shape on both eyes. All right, so my first tip is to actually start your eye makeup on your bad eye, or the eye you kind of have troubles with. So in my case, when I'm doing my makeup, I should start my eyeshadow on my right eye, but I just naturally want to start on my left, but I really should try switching it. So that's trick number one. Trick number two is to go back and forth between your eyes when you're doing your eyeshadow. So you don't want to like do one whole eye, finish that eye, and then do the other eye. You want to go step by step on each eye. So put your transition shade on this eye, transition shade on this eye. Put your deeper shade on this eye, deeper shade on this eye. So go like that, back and forth. I just find it really hard to get the same exact thing on each eye. If you're doing it just one at a time, it's hard. All right, and then my last trick for this kind of issue is to take a full face picture of yourself when you're like a couple steps into your eyeshadow look, like you've done some blending, you've placed down that deeper shade, and you want to double check and make sure both sides are even. So take your phone, kind of like just look straight into it, look into the camera, take a selfie. But what you want to make sure is that the selfie is taken not the way that you see yourself in the mirror. So you want to make sure it's reversed. So you can actually edit that in your Photos app on your iPhone. You just go to edit and there's a little flip reverse button. And a lot of people don't like to see themselves inverted. This looks like a freaking mugshot, but it's just a way to see if your eyeshadow's even. This also works very well for your eyebrows as well. If you have one eyebrow that just does something crazy, do your eyebrows, take a picture, and then you'll kind of see the differences in the photo. Okay, so those are my 3 tips for making sure your eyeshadow shape is even. Thank you, Val, for that question. Now let's look at this picture of Val. I feel like I went on for a second there. I feel like she actually did a really good job with her eyeshadow shape here. Like I can see this deeper shade in the crease is right there. It's right there, like it looks even to me. But one little recommendation I want to give Val, and I feel like a lot of people might have this issue, I had this issue for the longest time before I found this specific product, is how to fill in that little gap right here when you're wearing fake eyelashes. I actually can't tell if Val's wearing eyeliner or not with her lashes. She might be wearing a super thin line or no line at all, I'm not sure. But what I like to do to fill in this gap is to take a itty bitty liner. This is the Haus Labs Micro Tip Eyeliner. I don't know what I did before this, but this is the tiniest liquid liner in the world. And it fits perfectly right in that inner corner spot right there. So I'll kind of use this like in between my natural lashes, in between the fake lash, and just fix that line. So it'd also be really good for like if you like do that little inner corner shape right there. But I feel like just filling in this spot with a little bit of black makes a huge difference. Like look at this before and after. So before, after. It just kind of completes the look a little bit. And it's a really easy step to do, and you can do it before you apply your lashes or after. I like to do it after because then I can kind of see the whole look completed. All right, but there's that. Love this look, Val. Thank you. All right, I got 2 more looks to go over, then we are done. All right, so this is Chantel, and she sent me a couple looks, and she asked, do I go too high when applying eyeshadow, and am I using too much shadow in the crease area? So Chantel has these beautiful round eyes, and I wanted to talk about this look. I'm not exactly sure if she was going for a cut crease or some kind of graphic eyeshadow look, but I kind of feel like because of her eye shape, if she was going for a cut crease, it's not really needed for her. I'm gonna cover up this line. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, cut creases are more for people who have hooded eyes or just want to look like they have more lid space, but in Chantel's case, she has lots of lid space, she has lots of area to work with, and she doesn't really need to do it. Her blending of these matte shades looks really good to me right here, so I just would have stopped the look by blending in the crease like that and not have done that little cut crease line. But overall, this look is gorgeous. I want to show you that before and after just one more time. So this is with that line. It's just a little too harsh. All right, we got one more look to go over, and I like this because it was kind of Halloween theme and it's October, so I liked it. So this is Martha, and she said she did this Halloween look last year with a smoky eye and wanted some tips. All right, so I'm gonna zoom in here, and it's kind of hard for me to see her eyelid, but from what I can tell, her blending looks pretty good. It looks like she blended up kind of right below her brow. I like the placement. I love this kind of like cool toned smoky look. But to improve this look, I would just kind of work on the eyeliner just a little bit. So I can tell she's wearing a fake eyelash, and I'm not sure if it's like popping off in the inner corner, which is super common, or maybe it wasn't glued down all the way, but it looks like she might need a little bit more eyeliner. So kind of in that look where I had Val, I would just add that bit of eyeliner right here in the inner corner. Make sure you have a nice thin line all the way across. And that'll really help hide the lash band, make everything look nice and blended together. And if your inner corner does pop off, which happens to me every single day, it'll kind of hide that a little bit. And then for her, again, I would also do that little trick of taking a black eyeshadow on an angled brush and just going over the fake eyelashes once you have them on. And then for the lower lash line, I love how she has just a black all the way in the waterline, but I would take it a little bit further than that, and I'm gonna kind of show you what I did today. So do your black line in the waterline. My favorite black liner for that is the Haus Labs Gel Kohl Eyeliner in Punk. Like, this thing is so creamy, so pigmented. This has been on my eyes for probably an hour or two now, and it's still in my waterline. So do your little line and then take your eyeliner and just do a couple dots right along like the root of your lower lashes. So I just do like a couple dots here, 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 and here, and then take a little smudge brush, like a Sigma E21. So just like a tiny little brush, smudge out that black liner, and then take a black eyeshadow on this brush and just smudge that out again, just to get that nice deep smokiness, and run that black eyeshadow all the way through your lower lashes. And then I would just kind of take a brown shade, kind of like one of these three right there, and just kind of use that to soften and blend the black a little bit, and I think it'll be golden. So pretty much I would just be extending the smokiness out even more. This is gonna look dramatic, but I feel like she could do it. And then again, we're filling in this line right there. I think I have brown and not black on my thing, but see how it just looks kind of smokier? Just add more black. All right, so those are all the looks I wanted to go over today. I hope you guys learned some new tips and tricks. If you want to see me do this type of video again, please let me know. It's super fun to film. I like to do this, and I just love to see your faces. This is kind of related to this video, but I did want to bring up one little thing. How would you guys feel about if I did like a small group makeup class on Zoom? So people ask me all the time if I offer any kind of like a one-on-one makeup class, and I get lots of like individual questions from people. So I feel like this could be a fun way to like answer your guys' questions in real time and do a tutorial together that's not edited. It's all in real time. We're doing it together. You can ask me questions. I can help you. We would all use the same palette. It'd be like a group of like 12 people. I don't know. I'd like to know your thoughts on this and whether or not you would like to see me do this sometime in the future. So let me know your thoughts on a makeup class. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Up, big jump. Come on, big jump. Big jump. Yes, yes. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. Just want to smoke it up. Very cute. Your dad making food. Your dad's making food and you're not with him? Panic. Panic. Very cute.